the exhibition coming up on Saturday, what is it that you hope to take out of that and get from the guys?
Well, it gives us another opportunity to play with the lights on, another opportunity for guys to try to grow with 5 additional days of practice, and that's all we're trying to do at this point. Wins and losses not as important as our guys getting better and trying to get more guys to the court.
So what did you like from the first preseason game, or what do you think you guys can improve on for this next one?
Well, I think the fact that we had gotten a little better offensively, although we didn't make shots, was an important thing. The fact that Lee Moore played late in the game, played well, I thought was important. We rebounded okay. We got to the foul line more than our opponent. Things were okay, but overall, a long way to go.
Yeah. You talked about the tip-off luncheon about trying to break everybody down and get everybody playing for the team. How's the process going?
Well, I think so. I think today's an important day, another one more step in the process. It's so much easier offensively than it is defensively. Defensively, these guys have been playing pickup ball. They're not worried about anybody but themselves, trying to learn just where they're supposed to be. But got to get to a point where they're worried about the other guy getting beat.
Any updates on injuries or eligibility?
Well, we feel that the situation with Dominic Artis has progressed, and as far as injuries go, we had a setback with Jake Flaggart. He was injured in practice on Wednesday. We're hopeful that he'll be able to play for the game. Yeah.
Okay, so is Dominic not going to play on Saturday?
Well, we anticipate that he will play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you should be set then moving forward more than likely.
That's what we're thinking. Yes.
Let me ask you one. It might be hard, it might not be, but entering your 6th season at UTEP, you've been trying to get to the NCAAs for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you feel as a coach a sense of responsibility, especially being from El Paso, coming through this program, a sense of responsibility to carry this team back?
Well, if I was from Mars, I would be trying to do that, and we've done it wherever we've been. Generally 3 out of every 4 teams have gone to the NCAA tournament. This situation was a little different, and things have changed a little bit since we got here. It's no longer a multi-bid league. That certainly hurts, and we're always working toward that. We basically started again in year 2 with a brand new team, and carry over with freshmen in year 3. So, we know who we are, where we are, and what we're trying to do. Yeah.
Still things to work on, but if you had to choose, like I can ask you this, if you had to choose one thing that you really want to focus on for this upcoming preseason game, what do you think that would be for this?
Well, I just think that we've got to emphasize the fact that guard play is important. Turnovers, 19 turnovers are too many, and those guys have got to get us into play.
You mentioned Lee Moore's play. Is it kind of something that's been missing, that 5-6 minute go-to guy / closer guy? Was that really great to see?
Well, it's nice to have a guy that you can go run things for on the perimeter, and we certainly can with him. He can go create his own shot, which is an intangible that every team needs, and he has the ability to break out of an offense and do things sometimes in the fashion that Randy Culpepper would do, on his own, and go get you a play, and that's always nice for an offense.
You talked about Paul Thomas coming out here on the practice floor being almost a surprise, or well, not a surprise, but just stepping up, and then he has a pretty efficient and productive exhibition game. What do you see him in?
Well, Paul's a young guy that's really intent on trying to be as good as he can be. He's a great listener, and that helps when you're an athlete. He hears what we're trying to do, and he goes out there and gets a little better every day.
And just a fun question, how do you feel about Hunter and Washington both making D-League rosters?
Well, I think that's an exciting period in their lives. We would love for them to get the next call, but having been there, I know how difficult that is. It's very, very hard to get to the next spot. Sometimes you have to be fortuitous in terms of an opportunity presented by an injury from somebody, and you certainly don't want that for anybody. But it's a nice start to their careers. But the whole idea is to have a career and to be there 13 years from now, 14 years from now.
Comes the opportunity to speak to Tevin Caldwell, and you talked about him as just a heady guy, willing to give up a scholarship for a scholarship player. Talk about what he's going to bring to your team in terms of the locker room and how guys see, how this all works.
Yeah, well, Tevin is a giver, and there are givers and takers in the world, as we know, and he would be identified as that guy that's thinking about the other guy and your team, and just from that standpoint alone, there's a value, and he's a guy that I think would be an asset to any employer in this town They look for people that get it, and he does. And in addition to that, he's a very good athlete who has been here now 3 years and anticipates what's going to be required of him on the floor. Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you all for coming out.